Before this video begins, I'd like to thank you so much for watching. I understand that content's been a bit slow recently, but I'm gearing up towards making better Let's Talk videos and also just some more content in general. So get ready for that. The second is, and this is really important, I've noticed that whilst editing the previous video, I've been saying Coruscant as course count. I don't know where that came from. I don't know why I've been saying course count instead of Coruscant. I don't know why. So I understand. I've gotcha. For any hardcore Star Wars fans who find this and are raging right now, I do apologize. But from now on in, it will be pronounced as Coruscant. Except for this video, because I've already recorded the audio. Please enjoy. Hello everyone, my name is Ed to the Beat, and welcome back to Let's Talk. Today we are starting on probably the biggest series, or technically we're starting on the biggest Star Wars canon series created, Star Wars The Clone Wars. Now it begins with a movie, Star Wars The Clone Wars, the movie, I don't know, but the series does begin with the movie. The movie comes first before the series, so today we will just be talking about that movie. Remember everything that happened in Clone Wars 2003? Forget about it. Doesn't exist anymore. Did not happen. So the movie begins with outlining events that happened directly after Episode 2, almost like what happened with Clone Wars. This is the beginning of the Clone Wars series, and Anakin is also now a Jedi Knight, CP3O now has gold plating, and Asajj Ventress is also now a Sith Lord. So those three things that kind of happen in Clone Wars that we don't actually get to see in the Clone Wars can kind of be taken as canon and what kind of actually happened leading up to this, because you don't actually see those. Taking some information from Clone Wars and new information we've been presented with this opening, we can now understand where we're at from Episode 2 and begin with this movie. It starts with Obi-Wan, Anakin, as they're always together, and the clone army fighting against the droid army on the planet Christosis, and this is within the first year of the Clone Wars. During the downtime of the battle, we meet a new character which I've heard of, but because I've only really stuck with the movies, I've never actually seen properly before. So it's very nice for me to finally meet Master Anakin's new Padawan, Ahsoka Tano. This is such a huge character within the canon, and I have seen her in a couple episodes of Mandalorian because she is in that. I've never actually seen her. I've only heard stuff about her, and I was extremely excited to meet her. And I have, and I must say, she's a very cool character. I really, really enjoy her. So Master Yoda appointed Ahsoka to be trained by Anakin Skywalker. Once the battle is back up, the enemy have activated a shield, so the cannons that the public have can't penetrate them, which is a big no-no, because if that shield reaches cannons they have, the enemy can easily take them down, and the Jedi will lose the battle. So Ahsoka and Anakin sneak into the enemy field and disable his shield, whilst Obi-Wan surrenders and distracts the leader of the clone army. The shield is disabled, and the clones can then attack the droids, and the fight is won. So after this battle, the three Jedi get new orders to speak with Jabba the Hutt, as his son has been kidnapped, and the Jedi want to find him and bring him back in order to gain safe passage through Jabba's territory, because that will be a pretty large advantage to the Republic in the Clone Wars. Obi-Wan then goes to Tatooine to negotiate with Jabba, whilst Anakin, Ahsoka, and a team of clones go to the planet Teth to retrieve Rotta, who is Jabba's son. But during the rescue mission, the Jedi soon find out that the Sith, including the new Sith Asajj Ventress, who we were first introduced to in Clone Wars, as we later found out, another Hutt called Zero, who is Jabba's uncle, they had all conspired to kidnap Rotta and then save Rotta and frame the Jedi on kidnapping him, so that Jabba will not only not give the Jedi safe passage through his territory, but also would want to try and kill them. With a full battle going out on the planet of Teth, Anakin and Ahsoka continue forward and try to find Rotta, which thankfully They do, and after a close encounter with the Asajj Ventress, are able to escape and fly back to Tatooine in order to give him back to Jabba. During this, Obi-Wan gets a distress signal sent by Anakin and Ahsoka and comes to Teth to have a cool fight with Asajj. She eventually runs away, so Obi-Wan technically kind of wins that fight. Back on Tatooine though, Anakin and Ahsoka are shot down by Count Dooku, so they're kind of stranded, and then Anakin has a plan to distract Count Dooku while Ahsoka goes back to the Jabbas to deliver Rotta. She doesn't arrive because she's then attacked by other droids, but Anakin makes it there before her, threatens to kill Jabba because he thinks he's killed Ahsoka. And Ahsoka comes back, delivers the child, and Jabba's like, I'm still gonna kill you guys because you still might have stolen them. And then out of the blue, thankfully, Padme calls up and is like, hey, Jabba, we found out your Uncle Zero has been in on this. What do you have to say? And Zero's just like, I'm sorry. They made me do it. And Jabba's like, no, I'm not having any of that. The end of this synopsis is just fallen down. Either way, Jabba's son is returned. Jabba grants the Jedi safe passage through his territory. That's another plus for the Republic, and is ultimately going to help them during the Clone Wars. Anyway, holy cow, I enjoyed this much more than I expected. I underestimated this series. I know there are kind of a lot of memes that, oh, no one watched this show because it was a kid's show, but it's really good. And I can agree, although I haven't actually gotten to the show yet, the movie was really good, highly enjoyed. I love the models, I love the animation, I love the voice actors, they all did a great job. Moving the characters from live action to an animation setting worked great. I loved the new kind of characterization of Anakin and how he begins to act like a Jedi Knight. And has more power, more control over what he can do, and still quite obviously seeing how reckless he can be and how sometimes he can be deterred and turned a bit to the dark side. Ahsoka, oh my god, she was so cool. I love Ahsoka. She's such a good character. I can understand why people love her now. She's the best character I've probably ever met in the Star Wars universe for a long time, and I'm really glad to be able to understand her character more throughout watching the Clone Wars TV show. So far, might be my favourite thing I've binged in the Star Wars. I've currently done The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and then the 2 volumes of Clone Wars, and now the Clone Wars movie. So although I haven't watched much, this is probably my favourite thing that I have watched, perhaps rivaling Attack of the Clones. So good, I severely underestimated the Clone Wars, and even if the series is half as good as this movie, which I highly doubt, I think I'm going to enjoy it a lot, a huge amount. So for anyone who's been waiting for this, because this is a big part in venturing into the unknown, I enjoyed it, loved it. I think they did a terrific job making this movie, and I really can't wait to start venturing into the TV show. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Hopefully very soon we'll be able to start delving into the actual TV show of the Clone Wars. My name is Ed the Beat, and we'll talk soon.